Good afternoon and welcome to the webinar. My name is David Ingersoll. I'm the National Sales Manager at Soundfield, and I appreciate you taking 15 minutes out of your day today to learn a little bit more about our ProBase Sports Flooring. ProBase Sports is a recycled rubber sports flooring material, and it is our newest addition to the IMPACTA line of acoustical floor underlayments. As you'll see as we take a look at the presentation today, the ProBase Sports is a highly customized or personalized product, and I can't emphasize that enough. That's why I like to start with it. We can really take a sports floor. We can, as you'll see, we'll be offering in 3 different thicknesses, so we can customize it to the type of space it is without, sacrificing, making shortcuts on the acoustical side, or, really just being able to personalize it for color, look, style, and fit. So jumping right into it, the most popular of all of the ProBase Sports flooring is the ProBase Sports L, or the large model, if you will. Even though we say it is large, it's actually the thinnest of the 3 offerings. It's probably the most versatile and used in the most settings. It comes in, we're kind of on a roll with this, but it comes in 3 different thicknesses. It comes in a 6 mil, an 8 millimeter, and a 9 millimeter thickness. All are going to have very similar acoustical values. They come in either rolls or interlocking tiles. To start with, the rolls are great. Again, going back to the very first thing I said, this is an extremely customizable system. So the rolls are cut to length. This is very important, as you can imagine, for a few different reasonings. One, it eliminates the extra seams across the floor if we can get it sized appropriately. It makes it easier to install if it's sized appropriately. And the third is from a cost savings. This isn't necessarily one people tend to think of right away, but it definitely comes into play. To give you an example, I did this, this is the 3rd week in a row for the webinar, so again, thank you for joining. It was after last week's webinar. I was talking to one of our distributors, and they wanted to know if we could do a 46-foot run of the large sports flooring. The people we were competing against could only do a 50. Again, the 46 helps from an installation standpoint. It's going to make it a little bit easier for the installer. Both would eliminate the seams we talked about, the 46 or the 50. But just starting at a 46-foot roll compared to a 50-foot roll should give us about an 8% price advantage, because we're using 8% less waste on the job. So it is great that we can cut this to length. The interlocking tiles are a very popular option as well. The interlocking tiles are probably used a little bit more where it isn't a permanent glue down situation. So we do a lot more with the rolls, because most of the time when the sports flooring is going in, it is just that. It's glued down to the concrete. It's a very simple, easy installation, but it's also permanent. The interlocking tiles allow for some flexibility in revisioning or repurposing the space, I guess I would say. And all of the sports floor offerings you'll see at the end, but they're all available in a wide variety of colors, both standard and custom. So where you would use the sports floor L is in most of your situations. Everything from residential or high-end residential to office type commercial spaces. More and more offices are putting in a workout room. The sports floor L is great for that. Hospitality, the hotels that have the gyms on the first floor, great application for that. The fitness studios, the people doing the small classes, the yogas, the small spin classes, Again, the Sports Floor L is really good for that. Even the stuff that's in the strip plazas, if you will. You'll see some pictures at the end of, I think it was a Snap Fitness that used the Sports Floor L across their facility. When things get a little bit more serious, we're starting to get into higher acoustical demands. We're starting to get into spaces that have a little bit more of an acoustical need. We can go thicker. We go thicker pretty quick. So we're jumping up from, those thinner 8-9 millimeter dimensions all the way up to 1 inch. So the Sports Floor L, as I mentioned, is fairly lightweight for rubber. The Sports Floor XL, I can't really say the same. It's an 18-pound tile. It only comes in tiles. It comes in 2x2s or 24-inch by 24-inch. They're tiles that would get mounted down permanently. They would abut one another. They are easily cut. All of the products being a rubber are easy to cut with a straight edge and a utility knife. Being 1 inch, you're going to have to go through it a couple of times or extend the blade out. But again, it is still an easy cut. To avoid any type of tripping hazards, we can add a reducer strip at the end of the 2x2 tile. And the standard reducer is 1 inch by 4 inch. If you have a facility that needs to be ADA compliant, we can do a 1 inch by 12 inch reducer strip. I think rehab facilities, physical therapy type units that are bringing people in are going to need to be ADA compliant. So the Sports Floor XL, the applications for that are things going to be a little bit more rigorous or vigorous than the needs for the Sports Floor L. The CrossFit facilities, the places where they're dropping the big heavy tires over and over again. You got people dropping heavy weights, doing ropes courses and dropping and so forth. All of that is a good fit for an XL type of product. Again, all the cardio work the same as they do on the L and XL, but when you're taking the space off of a first floor and you're going to an upper floor, I think, again, back to the hospitality, most hotels try to keep the fitness rooms on the first floor, but it's not always practical where they can. So if they're going to an upper floor, it makes sense to go to something with higher acoustical value, something a little bit thicker. Again, same with offices. It isn't always convenient for them to put fitness rooms in an office in the basement. So, the setting of the equipment beyond just the equipment help dictates what type of thickness or product you're looking for. Also, things are a little bit more contact, or I guess contact's a good word, but think kickboxing studios, MMA type setups, stuff that's a little bit more rigorous in training is a good use of the Sports Floor XL. And of course, if we have an XL, we have to have a double XL. It is a sports floor. And again, we don't play around. We went from 8 or 9 millimeters all the way up to an inch with the first jump. So the second jump, going from level 2 to level 3, we're going from 1 inch to 2.5. This is a very heavy tile. It is probably the least, it's definitely the least common that we sell, but there are situations where you have to have something a little bit more robust because what you're doing in that space dictates it. So the 2.5-inch thick tile would be used for extreme users, Olympic motion weightlifters, power lifters. It is by far the most durable product we have. It's also by far the heaviest, but when you're using heavy free weights, it's a good application for it. Being 2.5 inches thick, we use a dowel to interlock the tiles. You absolutely need to use reducers coming off of the edge of that. 2.5 inches, you're into a fairly heavy tripping hazard, so we're going to use reducer strips In the picture on the left, you can see what the top of the tile looks like compared to the bottom. So the bottom is going to be made up of a series of small squares to help with the vibration control. And again, the applications are the extreme. It's the really heavy free weights. It's anything that involves the heavy dropping, heavy workout areas. Again, most extreme tile for the limited audience, or limited amount of spaces. Now we're taking a look at the next couple slides of where we have used the product. Again, this is the rolled product. This is the L that you're taking a look at. This was a fitness studio in a strip plaza. You can see the seam. That's what we like on that picture. Most of these spaces can be several hundred feet in length, so you can't do them all in one run. Eventually, I think the max roll size is 100 feet. But again, perfect application for it. It's a series of machines, a series of treadmill bays, some cycling, some spin, some pretty common things. No need to go to the heavier products at this point. I like this because it really does remind you just where sports flooring does get used. Again, most people think of treadmills, bikes, maybe some equipment, and then you go into your Snap Fitness, your Crunch Fitness, your workout places. You might do a corporate or a hospitality, but the idea of physical therapy is tends to be overlooked by people in the acoustical side and the traditional flooring side, but it's a huge market for the sports flooring. So I do like to remind people, wellness places, hospitals, physical therapy are all heavy users of sports flooring. And again, the one that was used on here is the L in a rolled out version, and it was used across the whole room. Not only does it give the acoustical value that they need for the facility, but it also helps with the cushioning, as people are in there with all sorts of knee and foot problems. This is more of a traditional high-end hotel type of space, or this could even be a office type of gym, a little bit smaller. But again, it was done with the L. We eliminated seams because it was a smaller space. But it does show you that it's perfect across free weights, it's across machines, across cardio. If somebody drops a weight, you're not going to dent or hurt the floor. It's made of rubber. It's very, very resilient, very abuse resistant, if you will. But it's another perfect example for the sports floor L. So as I said at the very beginning, the whole ProBase Sports Flooring line is customizable. And as you see, we tend to try to offer a lot of different acoustical values. We do a lot of different thicknesses. We try to make it so it's easy to understand. And I think we tried to do that again with our color offerings. Color does dictate price. This is a recycled tire material that is the core base of the product. So if you think black is going to be your cheapest option, the more black we have in there, the cheaper it's going to be. But no true workout facility is going to want a straight black floor. They're going to have some aesthetic needs. So we start adding in color flex or specs, if you will. On our amateur series, we just bring in a bit of color in about 6 different offerings, and we do a light mixing in of the color. It keeps the cost down. The more black we have, the more cost effective it is. Staying with the sports theme, the next level up is Rookie League or Rookie Series. We're bringing in additional color. This is a very popular offering. Again, black dominates the color, but you get a good mix of other colors in there. When you go into well, we call it the professional series for a reason. When you go into the professional series, You're going into places, whether it be hospitality, corporate, um, chains, or franchises that have a certain color specified and called out for their flooring, for their logos. Everything has to match. And black is not the primary color anymore. Black may be mixed in, but we're going into something a little bit more serious. And then on the sports theme, we have to go with Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame series black is almost gone, and we're going much heavier on color. And in the true spirit of staying customized, staying versatile, we do offer custom colors as well. People can give us their logo. We can pull bits of color to match. We can do sports flooring with logos in the middle. Say there's a franchise that in the middle of their workout facility, they want their logo on the floor. We can absolutely do that. We've done sports floors at universities where they want a picture of a mascot or picture of something that represents the university at the center of their sports floor or on the outside. It doesn't have to be the center. It just tends to be. But we can absolutely customize and bring in, special logos, special colors. Again, it's a very versatile product. Lead time on the rolls, especially the L with some of the basic color offerings, can be down to as low as 1 or 2 weeks. When you start doing stuff that's customized, lead times can stretch out a little bit further, 4 weeks or beyond, or even to be determined depending on how much of a customization we're doing. My email is at the bottom of the screen here. It's dingersoll@soundseal.com. If anybody has any questions on the sports floor, has an application they want to bounce off of me, if you want some of our brochures or a copy of this presentation, feel free to reach out to me. If you're looking for your local distributor, we do sell this product through distribution across the country. Feel free to reach out to me, and I can point you into the right place to get a quote or help you out locally with a project as well. But I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know time is valuable, and hope everybody is doing well. And stay tuned for more upcoming webinars by SoundSeal. This is the last of the ProBase Sports, but next month we are doing more of our IMPACTA Floor Underlayment webinars. I believe it is on the Jump Packs product. But thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a great day.